Okay, we are in the downtown area. Kind of tight parking. These are real desirable houses in this area. They're older, but all the yuppies really want to live here. And we have got a upflow air handler situation in here that's not draining real well and not getting into the condensate pump is what the homeowner says he thinks. So we haven't been here in quite a few years. Oh yeah, a couple of comfort taker units. I remember the job now. See how old these things are. They were made in 2010. And we sold some of these in 2009 and 2010, maybe a few still in 11. So let's go inside and see what the air handlers look like. Okay, I recognize these for sure. Looks like the style we used to do. Put those April air filters in like that, and seems like they've held up pretty good. These somewhere between 6 and 8 years old, I guess, 7, 8 years old, and got the Beckett pumps that we had. You know, wouldn't mind if we still had those. So it looks like he just took the fitting out of the pan and let it run out, because there's a drain somewhere down through there. That one is dry, so it hasn't had an issue. This one, for whatever reason, he feels like it's not even getting into the pump. So first thing we'll do, of course, is pull this out and see if we can get anything out of that. Well, I hate to, if we cut that, we're gonna have to start over. But let's go get our little vacuum and see what comes out of it. All right, I went and got the vacuum, and then I heard one of them running, a smaller one. I did want to come over here and video it. And yes, that fan blade is turning at its full speed. I think these were 850 or 825. Yeah, 825 RPMs. But this was the premium line, and it was called Soft Sound. And if you hear that, it's real close to it. Sounds pretty good. These were, I think, 15 or 16. I think they were 15 SEER. Yeah, CXH5, and the 5 was for 15 SEER. But pretty quiet. And boy, I can see on my screen how that fan motor looks, or that blade looks really funky. You can hear the compressor, but it is in a blanket on these. So they're pretty good units. So anyway, we're going to go in here and vacuum this thing out and see what we get. I found this little thing on eBay, and when I was looking at the picture, of course that's just sticking on there. So if you've got a fitting, you know, you can stick it in the fitting, and if it's a straight piece of pipe, just stick that coupling on there and put it on. But when I was looking at it online, it looked more clear than that. But anyway, and you can see how it'll take several different shop vac hoses. So I thought that was a pretty clever little tool. So let's hook it up and see what we get. All right, so this will be the first time I've used it. My small cuff will stick right in there. So I don't know what we're going to be able to see, but let's just try it. Well, it's pretty dirty for a minute. Flush it out. Vacuum up some clean water and see if that'll flush it out any. Pretty muddy. But actually you could see in it pretty good. So what I'm going to do is turn this thing on and watch it run a while and see it drip out of here, and then we'll stick it back in the pump, and if the pump's good. So first I think what we should do is take a little bottle of water, and that pump looks pretty dry in there. So let's put some water in that pump and watch it work first. So I remember when we did duct work and everything here, and pretty decent job. I like it. These have been in here for quite a few years, and it was a pretty nice job. Some of them had to run a little bit of crazy ways, but we did what we could to try to make them as flow conscious as we could with their design. So I need to find something to put some water in and pour in that pump. Probably gonna have to go back to the truck and look for something. I don't see any good containers in here in the homeowner's possessions. A whole lot of little containers there, and they all got holes in them. I need a good 20-ounce drink bottle to fill up a couple times. Let's go see what we got in the truck. All right, it ran about maybe 6 or 7 minutes, and I heard it popping. I heard it going pop, pop, pop. So I put my hand over the end of the pipe, and it filled up the trap. And about, I'd say, less than a minute later, so the house must be pretty humid, but there she is. She is dripping. So I'm gonna stick this thing back down in the pump, and I'm not gonna let it go all the way to the bottom. I'm gonna put it just like that. And we are going to confidently go ahead and leave this as is. So obviously a little bit of dirt, rust, mud, whatever in the PTrap was stopping the water from getting to the pump, just as the homeowner suspected. He's a pretty smart guy. He's an engineer of some type out at GE, some type of aerospace engineer if I remember right. Pretty neat looking job. Little tight of a bend right there. Could use a piece of copper from there to there, but it's doing well. And I'll tell you what, those black Beckett, I think those are Beckett's, those pumps right there did me pretty good justice, pretty good service. These are at least somewhere in that 7-year range, and they're still working, so we might have to tell our supplier that we want to go back to those, see what he says. But they've been good to us, so we're loyal to them, and we kind of try to do what helps them if we can. And this homeowner here is pretty smart. I bet you he has kept up with these filters pretty well, if I had to guess. Oh yeah, it's almost like new. He learned how to order them online and get them sent right to him. Those are the 24 tins, April Air, and then we use those in the April Air 22 tins. Did very well with them, really liked them. Just got a little better deal on those ones that we've got now, and you know, we have the ability to have our own name put on the label, but I didn't see any point in that. So let's pick up our toys and head on. Since the big one is running now, the little one cut off. Let you hear it. It's also a soft sound, and it's a 3-ton, and we're standing right beside it. Camera right down there on it, so it's pretty quiet. These were actually pretty good machines. You know, I thought a lot of these condensers here. I sure did. We had a few problems, had some coil leak problems, had, you know, a couple of things out of them that I certainly would not buy the ECM X13 motors, or I would avoid them all I could. We had a few of those failing. So hopefully that's not what's in those air handlers in there, but I don't think they would have lasted this long if they were. That sounds pretty good. So let's move on. We've got 2 more calls to get to tonight. It's about almost 7 o'clock. So we're gonna head to the next one. Thanks for watching.